more fun, no, but ain't no fun without a little bit of
Answer.
My fucking girlfriend. And her damn puzzles.
And her damn fucking. How many pieces we talking?
I don't know. She'll find like 500, and then she'll see, oh my god, 1,000, and I'm like, what are we doing here, dude? It's unbelievable.
At what piece count do you start to have to like get her checked out by the doctor?
Yeah. Well, this is new.
It's like I find a 43,000 piece one.
How
you're like,
boring are you?
Dude, that's what I'm trying to find out. Well, at first she's like, what if we did Legos? I'm like, look, dude, it'll be an abrupt ending to this relationship.
She said, what if we do Legos?
Yeah, she's like, how would Legos suit you? So puzzles was kind of like the middle ground.
Yeah.
And I pick out some pretty pictures, dude. I get involved. I'm a decent boyfriend in that regard. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I got nothing. I've never helped for longer than 10 minutes.
Have you ever finished a puzzle, either of you?
I mean, like a 10-piecer back in kindergarten.
I've like played a couple games like tic-tac-toe, maybe. As close as I've gotten.
We used to crush them down the shore, like when it was raining, because we would go down for, like as a family, for like 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks at a time. And this is also me being old. We didn't have like PlayStation or anything down there, so you would like, you'd be like, break out the 4,000 piecer.
Oh,
we could just hunker around the table with 7 cousins. You're missing like 400 pieces of it.
What an insane thing to be like, damn, we're bored. We should get more bored.
Yeah, we should get angry and bored at the same time.
Well, that's what she was doing it during the last game of the Eagles season against the Giants. It was like a couple of our friends all sitting around drinking and eating, and she was like on the floor just puzzling it out. I was like, do your thing, soul sister.
How in love are you?
Dude, deeply, apparently.
Okay,
I
good
must
for
be.
you.
You got a lady? You ever fucking?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I live with her actually right now.
Okay.
We live in Philadelphia together.
Oh, sick.
Great gal. Great.
She puzzling it up.
She's not puzzling. I'm trying to think. What does she do?
She's a speed cuber, like
Yeah.
the Rubik's cubes.
Well,
I would love that. If
I'd
my
bring her
wife-
to the county fair.
Yeah, just keep them all around the house. She's like, hey, babe, and just toss her one.
Trying to think. Loves TikTok.
Okay,
Oh,
basic.
dude.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
She's just scouting your work on there, dude. That's all she does. She's just looking for you the next video.
True.
Oh God! If that was if that was to get to the next subject, that was a very good job of doing that. I know there's a word for that, but
We're
I
a bit
totally
of a
just
segue
fucking-
podcast.
Yeah, segue. There we go. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. No, I'm trying to think. What the fuck does she do? That's weird.
You might just have a well-adjusted woman.
No.
It could,
That's when you know she's the one, when you got to really think. You're like, what is something that's not just a weird thing that bothers me? Like if other people saw this, they would also be bothered.
You got to hear this broad chew, dude. Oh, it's fucking-
It's you got a good relationship when you have to find something that it's like fingernails are just a little bit too long.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, puzzles, all things considered, really not a big deal.
There's true. We've all
Yeah.
dated a girl who I'm sure is just batshit crazy. And puzzles are probably like 10th to 20th on the list.
Some girls love other guys' penises while you're dating them. And that's a bit of a problem. That's been an issue that I've found in past
you want a girl
relationships.
that's just into puzzles.
I'm like,
you're
you
right.
gotta like just my puzzle. Just the puzzle.
Even if that puzzle is a picture of some dude's dick.
Yeah,
maybe that puzzle's a 4-inch piecer. Maybe,
Maybe it was cold when you put that puzzle together.
it's not about the size of the puzzle, it's the picture on it.
this puzzle's for 6 inches and up.
Yeah, and those are dumb. That's too big. You don't want to sit and do that.
I used to puzzle by myself a lot.
You're gonna get hurt, it's gonna be, whatever.
You keep puzzling, you're gonna go blind.
Oh, there's the title of the episode.
Yeah,
I love
that was a
it.
quick one.
That's a perfect time so we can introduce you. We usually forget to, and it's always at the end. But Kyle Pagan, we asked.
Pagan.
I asked. It's not Pagan, it is Pagan, like the bikers, right?
It is, yeah. My uncle used to show his ID because they grew up in like Roslyn, Jenkintown, Willow
Yeah.
Grove area. There was a pagan contingent out there, and
Yeah.
it's like a party trick. They fucking loved it.
They
yeah,
got it.
dude.
Because Philly was like a big hub for the pagans, right?
Yeah, huge hub.
I remember all my uncles just being like, yeah, I remember we got in a tussle at a bar with the pagans. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Like, you got shoved by
probably my
dudes on scooters. Probably was. And your uncle's telling the story. He's like, we got in a fight with some pussies from South Jersey at a bar.
It's really just pagan adjacent. I've heard of several uncles doing the same shit.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude.
They all also say that they're connected to the mob in some way. Like my dad, we're the most not Italian family in the world.
Yeah.
But my dad always had slick back hair and people assumed he was, and he would never correct people. And then always acted like he had connections, which was then ironic when he went to jail.
Dude did kind of walk the
He
walk.
did end up going to jail later on. This was like when it sucked because I was like 25 when he went away. I got no street cred from it.
It's like all I did was not pay taxes.
yeah, it was wire fraud. That was
Dad,
it.
could you just killed someone, dude? Come on.
He went to federal jail where like the fence was like waist high that kept you in. No joke. Like we would go to visit him with my niece and nephew, and you could kick a ball over the fence that kept them in. And they would let some of the more trustworthy prisoners go around the fence and go get the ball. I'm not kidding you. My dad was one of the ones that was allowed to like.
That was like
He was allowed to go grab a ball.
the only way.
My dad's name, same as mine, John Montag.
John's like, John's harmless. Let him
Yeah.
go get the ball.
The only time they jumped over the fence is if there's like an insider trading tip on the other side. They're like, "Man, we're gonna go check it out, dude."
Well, I mean, you had at least a little good childhood. I mean, if your dad's, cashing some checks and stuff
I had
illegally.
the best childhood. It was great, and that's what was fun. It was like when we all found out all that stuff. I was in my 20s. My sister was almost 30. So like we were like, oh man, that sucks. But like this isn't going to affect my development at all. That's pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
I got a bit out of it basically. Sort of a good stand-up bit, I think, about my dad going to jail.
That's really what it's all
I
about.
like that one.
And
So
it seemed like you were talking about you down at the beach. So do you had a beach house?
we were long rental. So we did like my parents did well. They were both small business owners. So they would, but like they did it where it would be my aunts and uncles, them, and like another family would all go in on like a month, and you would have like 40 people in a place that's supposed to sleep maybe 8. And it was like bad news. Like it was in front of a park. It was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like great childhood. But yeah, that was the funny part.
Average criminal, not great criminal. But
Yeah. Yeah. I was in Stone Harbor with the rest of the people for fraud.
He's a role player criminal.
maybe more than average criminal. Yeah.
He's
Like
an
Lou
ace.
Williams, like 6th man of the year.
He's
criminal.
yeah.
He was a good 6-man crook.
He'll come off the bench. He'll steal a little bit. He'll get back in there.
Well,
dude.
that's the whole bit that I have is that they called him coach in jail, but it was just because they didn't let him play in the pickup games.
true. Yeah.
It's like, you see, Johnny gave us 20 today.
Yeah. Can you believe that, dude?
And 6 assists.
He was a girls' high school basketball coach, crushed it at that, was like a world, like not world champion, sorry, like regional area, like pretty well-to-do golfer, like very successful dude, and then just had a crippling gambling problem underneath all of it.
Okay.
That's what's crazy now. Like I keep getting stuff in the mail from FanDuel, and I don't gamble at all just because one, like that happened in my life, but two, I'm just so dumb with gambling. Like I'm the guy that's like, let's bet on the team because their jerseys are blue today. Like just stupid shit.
Well, that's actually the girl. That's
Well, you're the guy hating
I'm
March
the-
Madness who wins because he loves like the color of North
Yeah, I
Carolina.
win because I picked a horn frog as like a mascot.
Which
So that's
mascot
pretty
beats the
cool.
other one? Yeah, that's a go-to. Yeah, that's a
If you're
big one.
married
Against
accounting.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that because of that, but I keep getting FanDuel stuff in the mail. My wife's like, "Can you be honest with me? Like, are you gambling?" And I'm like, "They don't mail you stuff if you have a gambling problem.
Yeah.
They're not like, here you go, FanDuel's in $2." Also, FanDuel? What the fuck are you doing mailing people stuff? The internet exists.
They're taking advantage of the olds, dude.
The olds don't
sitting
have,
around.
They don't know how to open a phone. Sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to.
no, it's fine. Hey, touch me all you want today.
All right, here we go. It's getting to get real weird now.
They get the pension and they get that. I feel like it's more the slots, the pension. They love
Oh
the
yeah,
slots.
you do catch them, dude. You catch
True.
an angry old in Atlantic
Can you play
City,
slots via the
1
mail?
a.m.
You mail a quarter, they mail you back 2 cherries and a waffle. I don't know what the things are on there.
A 7.
Yeah.
Can we still talk about your father? It's really interesting to me.
Yeah, I hate, this is what's every time we have somebody on, I end up going telling something. The last time we had a guest on, just a single guest, was when I got laid off. So we talked about that more than we talked about the guest that
Yeah.
we worked on. Yeah, you can.
I'm boring as fuck. I don't want to talk about me. And we are like on a therapist couch, so I feel like this is good.
This
Yeah,
is a
dude.
casting couch.
Casting
It's a
therapist
therapist
couch. Yeah.
couch. It's
You get your
everything.
feelings out, and then you get your jizz out, and you call
Yeah.
it a day, dude.
You're just
don't
gonna
wanna hold
empty
you to
all
it.
your fluids here.
So is Pops rehabilitated?
He has passed away since.
Okay, so technically yes.
Yeah. So he's in that jail in the sky, baby.
Did he pass away in jail or out of
No,
jail?
so he did 4 years, did his time, was a model prisoner. He was, they would like let him he was doing taxes essentially for like guards there. He
Okay,
was
this is
Andy,
Shawshank.
he was Andy
Shawshank.
Dufresne.
Yeah.
He was basically
Morgan
Andy
Freeman's
Dufresne.
coming in soon. Yeah.
He did. They called him coach there, which was hilarious because he was a coach on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, he crushed it in there. He started teaching he learned yoga in there and then started teaching yoga. It's a federal prison, so it was
That's a
either
tough
white
one.
collar crime
Yeah.
or snitches from like drug charges in surrounding
Yeah.
cities. But yeah, so we would go like visit him all the time. He got out, then got pancreatic cancer, which he then beat and like champed through it, became instantly diabetic because of it. Because as soon as they take your pancreas, you're insulin dependent. And then passed away like a year and a half later, but like not because of the pancreas. Like I think it was a heart attack. We still don't know like the cause. But that was the saga of like just the last couple years of his life.
God was like, you got it out. You got easy jail time.
Yeah, you're good, bro.
Yeah, he's like,
right.
I'm coming back for you.
Yeah. I'm coming. Yeah.
You'll feel my wrath.
You got a jail dad or anything?
I don't got a jail dad. I got a dead dad.
Dead
Okay.
dad, there we go.
Cheers.
All right.
He's got an almost dead dad. Well,
He's towed the line a couple times. Yeah.
Hey, I wish you well.
Good luck. Come on.
he's a bad boy.
You want to set this one out?
Yeah, if you don't mind, go ahead, guys. Tell me what it's like. I'm gonna call my dad real quick.
No, that's what I actually I make jokes personally all the time. All the time. Because I think it's helps you get through a lot of different shit. My dad was overweight
Okay.
So once like your dad was, did he die of heart attack? Did he die of the liver stuff that you get from drinking too much?
Right.
Or did he die from, blood clot or something like that?
Right.
It's choose your own adventure. We don't
Yeah,
know.
you don't know. And then it's so shitty too because they come to you and they're like, "Look, we can't say for sure what it was, but for $5,000,
Sorry, but
we can do an autopsy."
Is that a real thing?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
They ask you
What the fuck?
if you I think it's if you die at the hospital, they have to give a cause of death. If you're found dead,
Yeah.
or you die at home, whatever it is, then but it's up to you. You can get it. And that was a battle with us. Like my mom wanted to get it. And I out of respect, like at first I was like, this is dumb. Why do we want to get it? And then later on she was like, because I want to know if it's something you got to look out for. And I was like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. Okay, you're right.
That's why we blood test in 23andMe, Mom.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
True.
Yeah. I'll just keep an eye on my pancreas. Thanks.
How did he die? I don't know, but he is very Irish.
They gave us like 7 different things. I was like, well, you know what? Guess what? Now I have something for 7 days of the week.
Sorry, your dad's fucked up my thing.
He's so moved by it.
Yeah, no, both your dads came back from the grave to fucking come after me.
Coming after you.
So that's the thing, though. So they gave us like 7 different things. So like, hey, Monday, cirrhosis of the liver. Tuesday,
Yeah.
he died of a massive heart attack. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I get to choose my own adventure. And I get
Right.
to pick what I want. I didn't need a $5,000
Go back to the beginning.
autopsy.
Start again. You're like, I didn't even collect $200.
How'd your dad die? What day is it today?
Right.
Oh, okay.
So that's what like it's kind of fun too because every once in a while in my head I'll be like maybe it was like something crazy like maybe an assassin snuck in and he had a secret code and then that assassin knew a thing that made it look like he had a heart attack.
That's cool.
You're like, see, now I get to write my own adventure.
That's pretty sick.
I do like
100%.
that.
That's
It's like
a
a
good way to handle it.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Were you guys too young? How old are you?
I am 29.
Okay. Oh, so you're the baby of the couch tonight.
Yeah,
then.
dude. The baby of the couch.
Yeah, that we give out that
On the
award.
sex therapy.
Yeah.
Calling me the baby of
You're
the
the
casting
baby.
couches. You're the little baby tonight, aren't
That's
you?
your new name for urban shows, Matt, baby at a couch, people.
Yeah, dude.
Were Goosebumps big when you guys were kids? Or had that already passed?
Kinda.
Yeah.
I was freaked out. Everybody was freaked out by the puppet one. Whatever that was.
That
You
was
seen
still-
that picture, dude?
Yep.
Yeah.
They brought them back on like Netflix or Hulu or something. And I tried
Yeah.
to start with that one. I was like, one night I'm up hammered and I was like, I'm going to try to put this on. Immediately it was like, I'm going to bed. It's like, it scared the shit out of me again. I'm such a
Polaroid.
pussy.
The Polaroid camera one fucked me up.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, where I think you would take a picture and then you would die. I'm pretty sure, and maybe in 7 days, if I got it right. I think
that's the ring.
The ring just
Yeah.
stole it.
Damn, it turns out the rings was ripping off
Yeah.
R.L. Stein the whole time. What do you think the R.L. stood for?
Are we going to brainstorm this? Let's really get to the bottom of this, dude.
We're not going to. Oh, here we go. It was Night of the Living Dummy.
I don't
yeah.
remember it being a black dude. What the fuck was
Well,
that?
because that was the one. The book was scary. Yeah, what is that?
That's
In
odd.
93,
In 93,
too.
it's pretty
Shout out
diverse.
RL, low progressive.
Damn,
Well, they're
RL
making the villain
blackface
the
in
black
the-
guy. It's really a little fucked up.
Yeah, but it is blackface when it's that swooped over dummy haircut. Like
Yeah, I
that
don't-
is
I don't know
definitely
what
a
that is.
white guy with a bronzer on him, if you will.
It's a little bit Chris Rock the night that Will Smith went after him.
That's right. He's like, I did.
Yeah. It's a G.I. Jane joke.
That was a perfect Chris Rock.
That was one of the
impression.
worst. That was good. Borderline
You had
racist
this
things
famous
ever.
line. I did.
I thought he was here.
Mr. Rock.
Well, dude, I got to ask the fucking on the street interview stuff. How did it start? Like, how did the first couple go? Is it like an awkward endeavor? Like,
Yeah. Oh my god, so awkward.
It's gotta
So the first one was a. Are you familiar with Passion Ave?
Yeah.
There's an Acme on about 11th or 9th Street right there.
okay.
It was the day after Doug Peterson threw that game. The
Oh,
game
right.
that got us Devontae Smith.
Right.
In hindsight and stuff.
Right.
The 2020 season is one of the worst seasons I can remember since I've been alive. And I've always wanted to do Man on the Street. And I was like, you know what? If I fail, I fail. Fuck it. Who cares? But man, why did I pick an Acme at Passion Ave to interview people? I do not know.
Because you're going to get the best people.
I did. I got a guy who didn't even watch the game, who didn't even know. I got a guy who was like, Howie Roseman picks players like I pick horses, few and far between. And I was just like, and he's wearing his Notre Dame outfit. He's talking about the Mummers and everything. And I was like, this is just all time. Like my people are South Philly, Northeast Philly, and
Yeah.
Togo. Those
Yeah.
are my people. Those are the gold right there.
Oh, yeah. Because
Okay.
you are going to get, it's funny because we always talk about that, like South Jersey, we lump ourselves in with Philly, but Philly doesn't always lump Philly or South Jersey in like with them.
Yeah.
But like, that's why I kind of love that like the Delco Man thing blew up a little bit for a while and everyone like figured out and was like, Yeah, we have those same uncles over here. Like
100%.
it's
Yeah,
it's all the
everybody's
same
uncle.
pop-ups and uncles, all within a 20-minute radius of
Yeah.
Philly. So it's like the more you do find those people, and I love that you find them in their best element. Like,
Right.
You're getting them
Hammered.
You're getting them on the thing that they've waited all week for. Like
Yeah.
the reason that like they put in 5 hard days of work,
100%.
and they rested all day Saturday so they
Yeah.
could drink from 6 a.m. till whenever the fuck the lights go out.
Well, I think, and you match it too, which I feel like it brings more out of them. Because some people come up, they do it, and they're like, "What'd you think of the game? Like, how was
Right.
it?" And then it kind of it's weird. But if you're like right with them, they're kind of like, "Fuck it, dude, let's talk. Let's get into this
Yeah.
right now."
100%. And you know, you won't find that with like a lot of Montgomery County. I'm from Monco, so I can make fun of myself.
Right.
Like, us Monco people are so fucking boring. We're so stuck up. We think we're better than everyone else because we are better than everyone else. But
Okay.
but
We
yeah,
have a little bit bigger of a yard.
Yeah, exactly. I saw grass growing up.
Yeah.
Northeast Philly people can't say that.
Yep.
True.
I had both my parents. Not a lot of people could say that.
There you go. And you knew both of
And I
them?
knew both of them. And I went to Catholic school. You know, was it LaSalle? No, but it was a Catholic school that I had to pay for.
Right.
That my uncle also helped pay for 2 years of it.
Yeah.
So,
It is always funny when it's like, because Matt and I both grew up in like the suburban lifestyle. You're a Catholic school kid. Like,
Of course, dude.
I grew up next to a cul-de-sac. Like, it's a very, but it's like you always immediately have to like, you're like, but I'm going to justify why it's like, I'm like, well, my dad went to jail. Like, yeah. And I hate
Yes,
that, like,
street
I have
cred.
to do that to be like street cred.
well, I have a black friend. I have like 2 black friends. One black friend, my first black friend ever.
Quit bragging.
His name was Dexter. So like, well, how the fuck can I talk about that? Like,
Yeah.
a black friend named Dexter.
Yeah.
Are you sure he's black?
Exactly, 100%. So it's like when you have a black friend, it's like, oh yeah, what's his name? Andre? No, Dexter. Like,
You got to throw an apostrophe in his first name
Exactly.
somewhere.
He's
It's
Dex.
Dexter.
It's Dex. It's a little
so
more.
we did short it. We always
Lil
shortened
Dex.
it.
Dex is
Ooh,
good.
Lil
Yeah.
Dex is a good rap name.
That's
That
not
shows
bad.
how good I am.
That's what
good rap name.
I lived in Northeast Philly for like a year and a half, and the immediate area, like I was like right on Ron. I don't know the streets. I know streets are big in Philly. We're like New Jersey our entire lives, but lived in Northeast Philly for a year on Ron, and then the immediate area was like kind of you described like kind of white. I don't want to say white trash because they were kind of nice people.
Yeah.
But then you go to a certain section and it's like heavy Russian Ukrainian. I did not expect that in the
Yeah.
least, dude. And I lived there during the pandemic, like the beginning of it. And I remember like going on walks and you would just like, it was almost like a comic. Like it's just fucking people in black turtlenecks, just walking with
Yeah.
like thick accents and just angry at everything.
They just hit you walk by and they hit you with a hello.
Yeah.
You're like,
Go
"Where-
birds."
How far did I walk? Yes.
I can tell why you're back in Jersey.
Yeah, dude, it was a unique experience.
Joel Embiid looks tight
this season, bro.
You described it beautifully. Why Northeast Philly? Why'd you pick that?
I work around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more
So I was like, we'll be close. And then the world shut down. So I went from being close to working at home.
Nice.
And it's just sat in a 400 square foot apartment.
The American
Like,
dream.
Yeah, dude. I
I
was
lived
living
in
it up.
South Philly, right off Italian Market, like
I did
Hawthorne.
too.
I love that area.
Yeah.
I had an apartment that my wife is now affectionately named the Rat Trap.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually got good at killing mice, and that's one thing that I strive to improve on and succeeded.
You're also just like, what does that say about you? It trapped you. Like, you're still here.
Jay just prancing around like a cat, just purring.
Are you wearing that rat around a necklace? It's like, you're goddamn right I am. I got it bronzed.
His friends got to know, man.
Yeah. I do that with, you ever get those sprickets in your basement? You ever see those? It's a cricket with like 37 legs. So it's
Yeah,
half
dude.
spider, half cricket.
Sounds
Enormous.
like a nightmare.
I kill them in my basement and I leave them there so that the others, when they come back, they see what happened. It's pretty fun.
I had a Sprigget kind of almost changed my entire opinion of my own dad when I watched one underneath of our fridge
Trying to relate.
in our shitty kitchen, dude. It's not recent, folks. Look, why
Can't relate, dude.
Yeah. I wish my dad was scared of sprickets.
don't you guys go get an autopsy or whatever?
Turns out, sprickets.
Maybe if we go for a 2-for-1 deal, we can.
It's like a Whopper deal?
Yeah, dude.
Whopper.
You got to think if you buy one, you at least get one half off.
True.
Like,
True,
If you
100%.
combine forces, you have nothing to lose.
True.
Wait, so your dad...
Oh yes, a Sprigget, dude. I was like maybe 6 or 7 years old, and there's one in the kitchen. It's underneath the fridge. I don't want to do it. My mom's not going to do it. My sister's not going to do it. So it's time for dad to step up to the plate. So my dad prances over like very delicately with one of his many pairs of slippers, and we're like, "All right,
Wait,
Dad."
did he run to his room and go, not the good ones? Well, these are my getting the paper slippers. I can't have sprinkly guts on
Fuck
those.
it, dude. Retrospectively, he was very like, "All right, I guess I'll do it." And I took that as pure man confidence, which
Damn.
was just very obvious, scared Papa.
Yeah, no wonder his heart failed.
And he takes it and recovered.
True.
And he takes it and throws from like 10 yards away. It jumps, he jumps, we jump, and the Spricket lived in my house for like 2 weeks. And it just
Spricket's
was
like,
there.
I'm daddy
Yeah,
now.
my Spricket, I had to call him Pop and stuff.
Damn, Daddy Spricket.
He taught me how to ride a bike and shit. He fucked my mom. It was awful. A total nightmare.
Zaddy Sprickets. No.
It was brutal, dude.
That's great. I didn't know your entire family was scared of bugs.
Yeah, dude, we're just a group of pussies. That's why I do stand-up comedy.
I'm raising my kid currently to like, we hunt bugs in my house. Me and my wife will fight over who gets to kill a fly sometimes. Nice. And then like when you kill it, it's standing over it. Like you just brought back something on the hunt. You're like, you got, see that fly?
I think I'd take pussy parents over fucking Dahmer parents, just fucking seeking
Yeah,
out
we're
things to murder.
dissecting it.
You're like, watch this, honey. Look what's inside. We're autopsying it ourselves.
What's your kid's name?
I'm not going to say it.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'll say it. Fucking- no, I'm kidding.
That's all right. Matt started chanting comedy clubs against me and my family before.
That's not a true.
in roast battles that I wasn't even in attendance at.
That's up for debate. That's up for debate.
little Johnny's bringing back like, you know, a little bird that he's dissected. Like, that's never good.
Oh yeah, no, I'll stop it at that. Like
I agree on
she
the
just
Dahmer
now watching that thing, like because watching the Dahmer stuff,
Oh, I
it
thought you
was
meant
funny
your
because
kid.
like when he
Didn't you
like
think you
walks
meant
him
his-
up to it and like he's got that curious look on his face. All kids have that when they see something new. So like if I kill this Spricket, my daughter's like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, he's a bad guy. I don't know what to tell you yet. Like things don't stick in your brain yet. I don't
Yeah.
know.
You got kids?
No, not at all. Not
Not
at
a
all.
single?
Not one.
Okay.
That I know of. That's a joke.
Put that out in the
Everyone
universe.
loves, everyone
Good
loves
luck.
that joke. Not that I know of.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. It gets me every time, dude.
Coxman?
Yeah, how much of that do you get on doing the man on the street stuff? Like, I mean, how much? That was one thing I was wondering too. How much of it you can't even put out? Like, is there any that's just a wild?
There was one time a dude dropped the N word, but I didn't know if he was Mexican or white. And you know there are parameters at
It's
the end.
hilarious.
It's a
that
weird.
that
Yeah,
is
it's
a-
very.
it's
yeah.
a yes
I
or
don't
no.
agree with if you're Mexican, you should be able to use the N word. I think it is strictly an African American
But
thing.
it's also not your place to ever
exactly
tell them.
Yeah.
100%. So I kept it in, but I put a little, shade over the or cut the N word out because it was a funny bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want this guy to get canceled nor lose his job, but I also want the views. And you know what? That's
what it's all about,
Right. Tough
dude.
thing about being a content
Yeah.
creator.
Well, that's a weird
But I
thing.
also have a heart because I
Yeah.
didn't get the guy.
That's a
fired.
good man. That's a
Right.
good man.
I think he was
dude.
Mexican.
And you kind of open up the conversation. It's an important dialogue. Can he
100%.
say it? Let's let them weigh in and tell us what
In
we
the
can say.
comments, is
Yes.
he Mexican?
Yeah.
Yeah. If this goes on YouTube,
yeah, we'll be on YouTube
In the
too.
comments,
so
please.
In the comments.
yeah, find out.
we just want a whole dialogue on if Asian kids use it too. So if you want to add the Asian kids,
Yeah, I don't know
too.
where that's coming
That
from. That's
I was in New York this past May, and as soon as I got off the train, it was a crowd of 13-year-old Asian kids all throwing it around, and I was looking around like, is everyone else cool with this? Like, I feel like, do I have to be the one to say something? Like,
Yeah.
I look like the opposite of the guy that's
sometimes
say
you're like,
something.
fuck, I'll sub in. Let me get one.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Russia's in like Asia a little bit. So, like, in the Russian side,
Very true.
I'm sure they do.
Mongolian.
Yeah, I'll bet they throw it in there a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think they have a lot of governor on that.
I don't think
Morals.
Slapbad's holding back, dude. He's got one of the nukes named after it, dude.
How they used to do that when they would write like on the bombs in World War II.
Yeah.
It would be like, up yours, Hitler.
But you'd be surprised, man. I don't have to really cut a lot of stuff out that's like offensive.
Yeah.
I think I also have a higher tolerance for offensive than
Right.
most people would.
Yeah.
So shout out to Eagles fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. All in
is
all,
true.
I went to a game for the first time a couple weeks ago, the Saints game, and I've gone to tons of Sixers games, and it's like, people are kind of passive, they care. Being at an Eagles game when it's a rough game, it's like you're not allowed to be having fun.
No.
Like
Yeah,
there
you
was-
feel it.
I was in the bathroom and people were like, fuck this a fucking group of losers. Like everybody's yelling and about it. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Everyone knows a lot about football strategy when they're in that bathroom.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's the worst, getting stuck at a urinal next to a guy who played like 2 years of JV.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what they should be doing? I'm like, no, because that's why we're here pissing in these urinals.
Yeah.
Like this is why we're not in a heated locker room
John,
right
you
now.
got to master how to pretend you're deaf. Just give him.
Yeah, like 100%, man. Like working in sports, because like we do, we write too on the side. Like I don't just do
Right.
Man on the Street. I do. I work for a blog called Crossing Broad, and like that was like the first thing that like put them on the map was like writing. They started back in 09 and stuff. And it's just your Facebook. We'll throw a blog out there, and we're mostly facetious, mostly try to be funny and stuff. But there's another guy who writes for us who like knows his shit and stuff,
Right.
and can see down the middle. And if you see down the middle, oh my God, you are a fucking pussy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it has to be one or the other. It has to be.
You have to
I mean,
skip
Jonathan
Bayless.
Gannon. The Eagles have one of the best defenses in the league, but Jonathan Gannon should be fired.
Yeah.
It's like I can't fight with someone who can't see both
Right.
sides of the
Yeah.
argument.
Or someone that can't, or like any call against the Eagles. You're like, there's no way. You're like, I mean, you know the rules. Like,
Yeah, the over homer and then the under. Like somebody who's too homer, somebody who's not enough is
Right.
kind of brutal. I mean, it is true. You do have to be like a hot take guy to some
100%.
effect. Yeah.
I mean, Stephen A gets paid $10 million a year.
Yeah.
He's good at it though.
Yeah.
that is the thing too. You start to realize like the guys that are just playing the heel. Like I remember when I was younger, my dad was telling me that what's his name, the sideline guy for the Eagles, Eskin. He was like, we're listening to him on the radio, and I was like, Dad, why is he being like such an asshole? Why does everyone hate him? He was like, because that's what makes him money. And I was like, oh, and I didn't understand. And then like I remember an older cousin explained to me like heels and wrestling, and you're like, oh, you're playing the bad guy because it excites some like. I'm drawing a blank on everyone's names too. The Mikey Miss would always like argue against whatever the general, populace thought, because it's like that's what you want to hear. You don't want to tune into like two guys being like the Eagles are good,
Yeah.
and then the other person's like they sure are.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
like,
it's the most boring, but it is because radio is entertainment. I always thought it was really interesting that I think Fox News would get sued, but you couldn't sue them over what they said because they were technically an entertainment property.
Yeah.
So it was all entertainment
Yeah.
or some kind of tort law or something
There's
like that.
rumors
Yeah.
that
Bullshit.
isn't the NFL going to be filed as an entertainment company? They were talking about that recently, and one of the conspiracy theories around it was they're doing it so that going forward, any CTE lawsuits or anything, you can say no, that person was an entertainer, essentially like a
WWE.
Yeah, like a WWE entertainer. They took their own risk.
Oh.
So it's like again, that's just a
Dude, the devil
conspiracy
works
theory.
hard. Roger Goodell works hard.
I mean, but crazier shit has happened like in sports. So you're like, it's far fetched, but part of that's probably true. Like,
Yeah, dude.
There's a
It's
reason why they're
crazy.
switching it.
Did I want him to play the game after DeMar Hamlin went down?
I was gonna say yeah.
For about 5 minutes, I did.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer than that if I'm
Yeah.
willing to admit. I mean, I literally, like, I know Skip Bayless got dragged through the coals, and the thing about the Skip Bayless thing is, like, he doesn't have a leash. You can't just fucking say what you want
Right.
anymore
Yeah.
because you have burned that leash. Now, if that's like someone like coming out, starting their own career, maybe they get more leeway and stuff. But Skip's
Yeah.
saying it. He's done a bunch of dumb shit in his past and stuff.
Right.
Called Aikman out on his sexuality when that wasn't right and everything.
But he's just constantly stayed in the news and in the limelight because of it.
100%. He's gone after LeBron, who's one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and just always
That was
moving the goalposts.
Yeah,
and
exactly. I
everything.
mean, that was the funniest part though. Is he got in so much trouble about the DeMar thing the next day when Shannon Sharp didn't show up, bro? He was like fucking LeBron's body at this age. I've never seen it. Like he was like fucking worshiping him, going from like LeBron's a gay bitch for years, and now he's like he might be the hottest guy I've ever seen. That's how bad he got in trouble.
Something
dude.
just awoke
Turned
in
him into
me.
LeBron.
Yeah, he got him a LeBron lover,
like,
dude.
But like what I was saying though was just like I didn't think it was that bad because it crossed through my mind. I mean,
Yeah,
right.
I-
But everybody had to jump on Twitter and give their thing where it's like
Nobody lets it
put
breathe.
It, put it in the group chat. Just
Yes.
put,
Yeah.
put your thoughts
Feel
in
it
the group
out.
chat.
See if that gets a like, whoa, dude. You're like, okay, maybe
Yeah.
not that. Maybe
It's like
not
an
that.
open mic with all comics.
Yep. I've done that a
True.
couple times with roast battles. I'll send them to my friends that are non-comics and be like, is this too mean? Because I'm usually pitching it to you and other comics, and you're like, dude, fucking go meaner.
Yeah,
You're like,
we're like psychopaths.
yeah,
We're
you
like,
make fun of his
same way,
dead
yeah.
cousin, dude. Put that in there.
Yeah,
You're like-
dude.
but like, yeah, having that governor of like, oh, right. Some people just, yeah.
But to be fair, I've been trying to see if anybody agrees with me on this. Skip Bayless was kind of like, people were going after him like, oh, you care about the outcome of the game? Like, what's wrong with you? You're a psychopath. When DeMar Hamlin came to, apparently the first thing he said was, who won the game?
Yeah.
So it's like, really, dude, all you care about is the outcome of the game. What do we go after him? It's like,
Who's the psychopath in this situation? Could be
just
DeMar
saying,
Hamlin.
dude. I'm just
I mean,
saying.
look, you look at it now. Buffalo and Kansas City are going to meet in the playoffs, and they're going to be playing in Atlanta
True.
because
Oh, yeah.
because of the neutral site.
Yeah.
because they didn't get to play
right.
that game. They rescheduled
True.
that game.
Oh, okay.
So there are some implications, and
That's going to be interesting. See
Yeah.
which fan base can travel better.
and if the Bengals didn't beat the Ravens in Week 18, they would have to flip a coin to see where they played.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it fucked a lot of shit up.
That's got to also suck to be the Falcons. They're just like, look, dude, you guys don't need this field.
Yeah.
Trust
Just a
us.
loser fucking
True, yeah.
franchise.
Can we at least get like tickets? It's like, we'll see. We'll see.
I didn't realize that's what they were doing. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't far off, and they went after him, and he kind of stuck.
It's
to
got
his
to be
guns,
amazing
dude.
though to be like that kind of a Skip Bayless guy, Howard Eskin guy, to like wake up in the morning and wipe the dirt out of your eye and be like, all right, what shitty opinion can I throw at them today? It's like Mike Schmidt was gay. Argue me. You're like,
dude.
Jesus.
It's most of what it is.
Well, Eskin killed a woman.
Eskin killed him.
Eskin killed a woman?
You didn't know this.
No.
By the transitive property, he killed a woman. But he
Allegedly.
killed a woman, allegedly.
What's the tale on that?
He was striking up an email relationship with a woman. This is back in probably the 90s, maybe early 2000s. He sent the woman flowers because she would talk about, how her husband and her weren't getting along. They were thinking about divorcing and whatnot. There's more to the story, but he sent her flowers. Husband saw the flowers, intercepted the flowers, or maybe got home first, and a jealous fit of rage killed her.
Wow.
So by the transitive property.
Oh, for being a lover boy?
That's gotta be at least third degree, right?
That's kind of that's like ninth degree, dude. Eskin's trying to get a little coon.
Maybe second-degree manslaughter. I mean,
Imagine
Look,
being
dude.
the edible arrangements guy that just delivered that. And you're just like, someone's going to sign for this. Like,
Well, he's an accomplice. Let's put his ass away, too.
you're just standing there eating chocolate covered fucking strawberries. Like, man, this shit escalated pretty quick.
Wow, I did not know that. That's
I know,
crazy.
that's a
insane.
bird story, man.
sick.
But
I
it's,
know there's a comic in Philly that has a story. It's Tim Butterly's got a story that he thinks Howard Eskin banged his mom. It was in
Dude.
'93. I mean, I'm telling his story, but in '93 in Toronto, she went up there for the World Series, I guess, and it was like she was on the phone, like, "Yeah, we met Howard Eskin," and you could like hear him in the background. They were talking about it, and he's like, "Oh my god, I think Howard Eskin fucked my mom." It was all Dad Meat. Shout out Dad Meat. Tune in. Look for that episode. I don't know
Dude,
which
that'd
one
be
it was.
so sick that he's banging people's moms and he's doing. I mean, he got big, like you said, playing the heel because
Yeah.
what do 40 and 50-year-old guys love? They love being angry.
Guys
so
who
they can
bang
just,
moms.
Yeah.
they're mad at work. The drive home, they turn it on. They like guys who bang moms. That's very true.
They love fur coats on sidelines.
They do.
That's
They
their big
absolutely
thing.
do.
Colored
mink.
beats to whatever
true.
shirt you're wearing.
True.
I was
Man,
at
what
a,
piece of shit.
Asking the hard-hitting questions. That's a big thing about asking. Hey, ask the hard-hitting questions.
Yeah.
Like, nobody answers them.
Yeah. True,
How
they do.
hard-hitting?
Yeah,
can
why
they
didn't
be?
you complete that pass? Come on.
He was at, I went to like one of these, his son has a podcast.
His son's a lot better than him.
His son's the man. He runs a podcast, and they used to do like live parties at Xfinity.
Mm-hmm.
And Howard was there, just kind of like going around taking pictures. So me and my buddies were like hammered. It's like 5 p.m. We walk in, they're like, "Oh shit, it's Howard Eskin. Let's go get a picture." So we go up and we're like, "Howard, can we get a picture?" Doesn't say a word, just turns, flashes the Eagles championship ring to the camera. So we panic and we pose, realizing we've never asked anybody to take a picture yet. So it's just us looking at nobody, and he's just going like that for genuinely probably like 31 seconds.
Yeah, the rumor is he bought that ring too.
I was gonna
No,
say
absolutely, dude.
I bought one drunk for $25 that came from like Indonesia, and it says Nick Foles on it. I wonder what player he has on his fake ring.
He tried to pass it off that he was giving it to the Eagles because he worked for the Eagles. Like, no, you work for WIP.
Yeah.
No, they just let you stand on the sideline because you're media.
That kind of rules, though, dude. Stealing a ring, stolen valor of rings. That's crazy. You'd be like, what battalion you serve in? You see him walking around in Macy's. You're like, where'd you get that from?
It's amazing what those Super Bowl rings, the like excitement it'll incite. I put up that one post where I'm just an asshole and I have the fake ring on, and like a
Yeah.
bunch of people mess me like, "Is that a Super Bowl ring? What the fuck is that ring?" I was like, "You can all buy them on Amazon, guys. This
Yeah.
isn't a big deal. We're all pieces of shit. You can all get them, guys. I'll
It's
buy them for
accessible,
everybody."
dude. Yeah, it's absolutely accessible.
There we go. That's gonna be one of our Patreon tiers. When we get to 5,000 subscribers, if we ever get there, we'll buy the first 10 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, I don't think we
All
will
the Carson
do that.
Wentz ones that people returned.
That'd be awesome if
They're
you
like $15.
if you just had like Patreon subscribers that were from like Kansas and they're
Yeah.
like Kansas City,
and they just
Kansas
got a
City
rockin'
Chiefs fans.
Eagles
Yeah.
Super Bowl ring. But
subscribe to
we
this
etch handsome idiots into the side of it.
Yeah, so I subscribed to this guy's podcast. He just sent me a Super Bowl ring. Kind of fucking blows,
I think
but-
these guys are dicks. This sucks.
Tried to return it. It costs more than the ring costs.
My
took
ring
it down to the pawn
Send it
shop.
back.
it makes their fingers Eagles green. This the fake jewelry, dude. Nah, that's sick.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of it. Who's the shitty player on that championship football team or that Super Bowl team?
On that team,
They were kind of all the fucking dogs, dude.
They were
literally.
underdogs.
Every
They were
guy
the
on there.
dogs.
Doug Peterson fucking going for it. That's a guy who's fucking people's wives. I don't know if he does,
Oh yeah, there was that rumor, and I think it was almost confirmed true.
that he's banging around.
Yeah, that's why he got. That's why he got the job in Philly. Supposedly, they wanted to hire somebody else, but Andy Reid called and vouched for him. And it turns out that Andy Reid's wife found out that he was banging his secretary, and she was like best friends with Doug Peterson's wife, and she was like, "You got to get him the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude.
I
So
think
Andy
it's
with his mustache?
allegedly, but I think it's almost
Yeah.
confirmed in an urban legend. That's confirmed true.
Yeah.
Andy's just like, no, great guy. Like he's not. You're gonna have statues of him up one day.
Sports cheating shit is nuts. Like I remember the big one, like Tony Parker and Brent Barry. When I think he was like married to like Eva Longoria. Tony Parker was married to Eva Longoria and banged his teammate's wife.
Some ginger's wife.
Well,
Some
who was it?
and
that
that's
banged-
fine if she's a ginger. That's a-okay. Look, we're already
I'm
going
sure
through
she
a lot.
ricochets puzzles too.
We're already going through a lot. They're banging on our fucking puzzle doing wives. This
Well,
is
who was it
unbelievable.
from the Cavs that claims he fucked LeBron's mom? Right,
Delonte West.
Delonte West. Right,
That's,
and
like,
then
that's a pretty true
ended
one.
up being on the street.
I was going to say he took a rough slide.
Now that's a good. That's a good conspiracy
His mom
theory.
passed on what she had.
Do you
Are we
think
sure? Are we sure LeBron's mom's not a Kardashian?
She may be. She's got.
they're in that inner circle?
Yeah.
I mean, Lamar Odom. See ya.
Lamar. Yeah.
He's got a
Jake,
documentary
haven't heard from
coming
him.
out about all that. That's supposed to be pretty damning.
Who,
see.
Lamar?
Yeah, I think it's just came out or it's coming out.
Oh, about
A documentary
people doing,
about
like, fuck
basically
shit to him?
like I almost died in a brothel.
Yeah.
I think that's the title of it.
Are we going to get Bunny Ranch footage?
I hope so.
That would be so sick.
If it's actually
dude.
like
That'd be crazy.
HBO is still there, their cameras are still up at the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that guy just died. I think the owner just died. He was running for Vegas. He was running for a seat or something like that, or a council member.
I'm amazed that guy was. He was so red, like, and just high blood pressure looking when you would watch the Bunny Ranch. That shout out to Bunny Ranch. That was like,
Probably riddled with syphilis.
yeah, that was an early on. You're like, I mean, I'm kind of watching porn on TV. Like,
Sexy Cab Confessions or Taxi Cab?
Taxi Cat Confessions.
That was
there
a big one. too.
There was a show called Hookers at the Point. It was about AC hookers. That was a good one. You would just it basically looked like Grand Theft Auto. It would just be a girl walking the block, and then a guy would pick her up, and they'd drive off, and the cameraman would just keep the camera on the car.
Oh, yeah.
And you would just see like, and she's still mic'd up, and then just 3 minutes later, like, all right, Daddy, that's $200, and then it would just be like hookers. That was it.
an
That was the
honest
show.
living.
Shout out HBO. Really doing the dirty work. Yeah, Taxi Cab Confessional. People like had sex in the back of the car.
I told all the confessions.
Yeah, while they're telling confessions, like.
Were you a cash cab guy or were you more of a taxi cab?
I'm a
confessions guy?
big Ben Bailey head, dude. I was Ben Bailey, that deep fucking voice. Oh,
I was
he's
just
great.
about to say, imagine if they could merge Cash Cab with Taxi Cab Confessions. People are having sex in the back and they just start asking them trivia questions.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's good. Or it's the dating game and they have to answer the questions while they're fucking.
Yeah.
It's like Sarah said her favorite type of ice cream was what? He's like, Rocky Road?
That's gotta suck if you get into the cab and you think it's the confessional and it's cash cab. Like you sit down and
Start
you think
taking
you're about to
your
get
shirt
like
off.
head. You're about to get head, and he's like, "Who was the president in 1824?" And you're like, "What the fuck? I don't know."
Am I still gonna get head?
To be fair, I think it would actually be worse the other way around when you think about it. You think you're going into Cash Cab and somebody just starts taking
True.
your pants
Yeah.
off.
True.
What do you think they did? Like, because you have to decommission that cash cab. Like, that had to have been somewhere. Do you think there's still a taxi that goes around with those lights and it turns on when you get in? Everyone's like, yes. They're like, oh, no. Actually,
Yeah.
this is just the old cash cab.
They,
We got
they probably sent the West Coast Customs exhibit. I think.
Yeah, it's
Put a
true.
fish
Yeah,
tank in
they
it.
put-
They really should have just combined cash cab and West Coast Customs.
That's
Yeah.
what they should do
That
with
was
all
dope,
failed
dude.
shows.
What
They
was it
should do that with all failed shows. Just
Really?
combine them
Hit My
together.
Ride.
Pimp My Ride
Hit my
was great.
ride, dude.
We talked about that recently because we were talking about Next. That was another great
Yeah.
Good one.
MTV show. Or
What
Room
was
Raiders.
the one Room Raiders where they used to do the black light?
Yeah.
It's like, this guy jacks off a lot.
It would be funny, like watching that with your
Dude,
friends. You're like, could you imagine? Look at that guy, and then you're like, I'm gonna go home and do some laundry.
Do it in a sock like an adult loser.
Yeah,
It really was, and the girls were all upset about it, and like, shut up, dude.
ew, he comes.
Well, if you pick him, he could change this up a little bit.
yeah. Actually, you don't want to date the guy that has no stains in
Yeah,
his
'cause
room.
it's
That's
like-
a serial killer.
Yeah.
100%.
What the
Josh
hell is it?
McCown didn't jack off, never won a Super Bowl.
Is that true? He said he's never whacked.
Ever.
Well,
Ever.
a lot of tension built, brother.
Is that a Mormon thing, or was he?
He might be Mormon, he might be from Texas. It could be either one.
It's
It's a
pretty
little bit of both.
interchangeable.
Yeah. A little bit. That top left corner, it's close to Wyoming. I don't know where the
Yeah.
Mormons are.
Utah.
Utah, that's where it is.
Oh, okay.
Wyoming too, right? Probably they spill over.
100%.
Kanye's
Vegas,
in
probably the
Wyoming.
Lake Tahoe area.
Have you ever gone cross country? I don't think I've ever been in the flyover states, really.
I went to is Colorado one? Went to Denver
I
once.
think technically, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Not a lot to do out there. Well,
Ski.
Denver's cool. Wherever the fuck I was. It wasn't Vail or anything. It was like
Yeah.
it was like a mountain.
South
Yeah.
Denver.
Yeah.
It was in the Rocky Mountain chain. And,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
so
I just went tubing the other day. We took my daughter tubing with my niece and my sister. I forgot how awesome tubing is when it's just pure ice, fake snow. Because there hasn't been
Where'd
any
you
snow
go?
in the Poconos
true.
yet. Shawnee Mountain.
Oh, you went to
So it's
Poconos,
all
okay, yeah.
fake snow. And man, those tubes, the guy's like, you want to go fast? I was like, hit me up. He like drop kicks you down the thing.
Yeah.
I was cooking.
That rules,
Yeah.
dude.
I was also very nervous because I had a 2-year-old in front of there. We lied about her age. You have to be 4. we're prepping her to go in there. We're like, all right, say I am 4. She's like, I am 2. We're like, all right, just shove some crackers in her mouth and we get to the front of the line. I got to the edge of the things. You have to go up on like the lift. Like it's like a conveyor belt. So she went up all the way on there. We get in and the guy looks and he's like, she's kind of small. And I was like, what are you trying to say, man?
Yeah. What the fuck's that about?
He's like, no, she has like a shirt on that says I'm 2. Like, what's happening?
she pulls a shank out.
Yeah. It's just like, how old am I, pussy?
What about it?
I used this to kill my sprickets.
I was cracking up. I was like, well, if she is 2, we still have to go down the hill. So you got to let us go. We're going to get reprimanded down there, my man. What, are you going to keep me up here for the rest of the night?
Did you let her go by herself?
No, I went down with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was like, this is crazy, but at least you
I
went down
do
with her.
questionable parenting things, but at least I had a panic attack halfway down too because it was the first run and I hadn't like gone down that hill before. So like halfway down, I was like, oh, I don't know how quickly this stops or if it definitely stops at the end because they have those like rubber mats to stop you.
Okay.
And we hit those and like kind of kept going. And I was like, if I mush my kid, like I'm going to be on the news.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, and tonight on the news, he said she was 4.
Dude,
The big story to that.
Can't mush my kid.
that's a good first like sledding experience though. Like
That was
for
her
us-
real first one because she just did like in the backyard last year. I built like a hill that high.
True.
And that was it. Yeah.
The best one is you go to like your town's hill.
Oh, I love a good
And then you
sledding
get
hill.
there and everybody parks at the base of it. So it's
Yep.
just gasoline sludge. And you really earn your keep if you fall out face first in it.
You got the wild kid that drank a lot of soda trying to stand up on the sled. Always
Yeah.
broke his arm.
Yeah, and that kid may have
soda kid.
ran into me from behind and I may have gone face first in the gasoline. Who's to tell? It is,
That never waited his fucking turn.
yeah.
That was an ass.
The worst.
Yeah. That was that kid still exists even at the tubing hill.
Yeah.
And nobody was like saying anything. And I even did like, somebody could do something about this?
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, I suck.
Anytime you see the
that kid
kid,
just beat me and I was like, excuse me, sir.
You Karen a little
Me and
kid.
my not 4-year-old need to get down this hill.
Anytime you see the kids like jumping and flapping hands, you're like, this kid's gonna be a fucking problem, dude.
Oh yeah.
This kid's gonna be burning rubber.
Yeah, you're like, you know what, buddy? You go ahead. You go ahead and cut the line.
He's the one that jumps in during Adult Swim.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
if you guys
true.
got any pools around you.
Yeah, I'm a member at a pool now in the summer where there's an Adult Swim, and it's so awkward. Do
you participate?
Yeah, of course I do. Kidding me? I'm gonna go rip a lap or two.
I was gonna say, what do you
Put a
do? Do you
backstroke
do laps?
like-
Like, you can't talk to the other parents unless you
But
obviously, no.
but you're just in a pool with a bunch of kids angrily watching you,
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm enjoying my day. Like,
Yeah, dude.
That's the thing. You should,
Yeah.
Because we were at a shout out to the 4th Street pool. We should shoot daggers at the people,
Yep.
at the parents, at the old people.
yeah, how
And then-
dare you? This
and
is
then-
our place.
And then they used to close off the slide area. There were no 50-year-old people going down on the slide. Let us at least enjoy the slide area.
Well, the 50-year-old people were going on the slide when it was like sundown and all the dads were drunk because they've been secretly drinking at the pool all day.
Yeah.
I did that last summer. I got to get secret drunk at the pool before I gave up drinking. That was a good, like, checked it off the list before I gave it up. You're getting like koozie drunk where you're like, no one knows this
Yeah.
is Bud Lights.
Trusting your kid with a 12-year-old lifeguard.
Face down in the kiddie pool for an hour. Like, yeah, I'm ripping gainers. 69 and with your lady on down the slide. We got wild. We got real wild. I told you about it because it was great. I went with cousins from one side of the family and ended up seeing cousins from the other side. So that was always, even when you were a kid, that was great when like the two sides would merge.
Yeah.
And you were like, yo, I'm going to show the other side how sick I am at wiffle ball. Like,
Oh, dude.
so we got to do that. It ended up being me and my like adult guy cousins having a dunk contest on the 6-foot rim in sandals, just pissed drunk. Like,
oh my God, that's bliss, dude.
oh,
That's
it was
Yeah, fatherhood doesn't seem
living
too
the
shitty.
dream, dude.
Yeah,
Fatherhood fucking
that's guy
rules.
heaven.
start leaving it in. I'm going to tell you. It's in the beginning, you're going to be like, oh my God, we ruined our lives.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't plan it, we planned it. I shouldn't say that. We didn't ruin our lives. We planned it. My wife listens and watches this. I love you. But fatherhood fucking rules. You do get, if you have to watch Frozen a lot, if you have a daughter, I'm in that realm where I can just, I mean, the soundtrack is a fucking banger, but Frozen the movie, it's just too much.
Yeah,
Too much emotion.
I'm at Crossing Broad. I'm the youngest.
Oh, okay.
Then they all have kids, and it's just amazing birth control.
Yeah. Oh,
It's got to be. Yeah, seeing it
100%
secondhand
is.
looks terrifying.
You just get
dude.
the bad. You get the bad. That's all you get.
Yeah.
Right.
All you get.
That's why I like to be the person that gives the good. Everyone
true.
talks about the shit. They're like, everyone complains about their kids. No one ever talks about, like, I just giggle at half the shit my kid. I'm like, you're
true.
a goofball. This is fun.
Well,
like,
I've had the long running theory that, like, as a guy, and if you talk about your relationship or having kids in like a positive way, all your buddies are like, fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to make everything sound bad. So they're like,
Right.
yeah, I hear you, man. But as soon as you start being like, my girlfriend actually like makes me feel like safe and comfortable.
that's
they're
the
like,
Tim
"Ew,
Robinson
dude."
sketch where he's like, you'd be drinking a lot too if you had my wife.
Oh, yeah,
And then he
yeah,
comes
yeah.
back and he's like, I don't know why I said it, guys. you
didn't mean
supported me through that thing.
I
Like,
didn't mean that.
I get that all the time. I'll shit on my wife, and then I'm like, oh yeah, you brought a human into this world for me. I got to stop being a bad dude.
Nah, give your balls some credit, dude. They put some work in.
I'm the beginning. Look,
Those things were pulling up from
Could have
deep.
done without you.
it starts and it ends with me. I don't know what that means, but
I don't like
it
that
seems
at all, dude.
dark.
Have you pulled the I'll take you into this world, or I put you in this world, I'll take you out of it?
Not yet. It's I've only had to raise my voice a couple times. She's a little bit over 2. And like the first time I had to like raise my voice, it was to stop her from doing something that would have hurt herself. That's most of the yelling you do now. And I watched it, like it caught her off guard, and then she welled up and I just melted inside. I was like, I just ruined her day, like by raising my voice a little bit.
Yeah.
So now I have to be like, hey,
Well, good thing it's short memory.
yeah, don't put that fork in the outlet.
Yeah. True.
She would be an awesome running back. Short memory.
Oh yeah, she is head down. You've seen her run, I think, when you came by the birthday
Yeah,
party.
she's a cloud of dust
She
of a
just
baby.
when she puts her
She
head
just put
down,
her- yeah.
she gets extra speed from leaning, but doesn't see anything coming at her. So she's like she's a good like Mike Allstott type back in the day.
2-yard loss, 8-yard
Just
gain, doesn't matter.
fucking,
Next
oof.
play.
A CTE every play. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Lead with your head. Let your feet follow.
I don't know if you watched did you watch the Cowboys game last night?
I was in and out watching
Part of it, yeah.
Did you see that they have these like weird things on their neck? They kind of look like they're air conditioning
It
things.
looks like the headphones that truckers wear too.
Yeah.
Those the parrot headphones that people keep on their neck. Have you ever been in a 7-Eleven? Everyone that comes in there has them.
How many
on.
rest stops you going to hanging out with truckers?
Oh, I used to hit the turnpike.
Had a
I just hit
couple
the
laps,
turnpike the
hang out
other
with the
day.
truckers.
I
You guys
gotta hit.
jet setting all over the place.
I love catching a good truck stop, dude. You get to see some of the best and worst of the world.
Yeah.
the lizard lots.
Oh
The lizard,
yeah.
a lot of lizards, dude, hanging around. They're looking for fucking some
And I'm just
Eskins.
sitting there eating bugles in my car.
Dude.
Wait, where do you go wrong that you're a lot lizard? Because it's just like there's being a prostitute, there's being a hooker, there's being an escort, and then you're just a lot lizard. You're like the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like the
You're doing
loving
the Lord's
embrace.
work. That's some Mary Magdalene shit. You think she was a lot lizard, or was
Mary
she top
Mags?
notch hooker?
I think she was a top-notch hooker.
Was she top notch?
Yeah,
she
she
was
was up there.
a
She was
bunny.
good
She was a bunny ranch girl.
Yeah.
Probably. She
Whoa.
would.
True.
No, she was like a Wall Street.
Damn, they need a Westworld because that was that big part of the show. Westworld was the brothel. They need a Westworld for Mary Magdalene.
Wait, sorry.
Oh, the CTE college. Yeah.
so this stops CTE.
Oh.
So yeah, this is the product they were wearing on their necks. It's called a
Q
Q
collar.
collar.
Oh shit.
That guy doesn't look like it's working that well. What a terrible picture to
looks
pick.
miserable.
It looks like he just broke his back.
The QAnon collar.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Has Alex Jones playing at all times. The frogs are gay.
Pizza
They
Gate.
did start introducing like a lot of new helmets this year too, right? That are the ones that like mush when you get hit.
Yeah, but now they're trying to be an entertainment company, according to you. So
I mean, I heard that on one podcast, and it was people that don't know sports. So
Yeah.
I will take that to the grave as fact.
I've heard they're adding steel chairs. Actually,
I
That's
hope
gonna
so,
be the next round
dude.
of
If they
playoffs.
start adding like money in the bank matches and stuff, they dangle a briefcase over top of there. Are you a wrestling fan?
a little bit.
All right, cool. Matt always makes fun of me for. I got back into it as a 34-year-old
because
adult.
it's
Wait, you got back into it now? Nowadays it sucks, man. You grew up in the Attitude Era.
I did. Well, so I grew up in the Attitude Era and ECW era in Philly because ECW ruled.
3200 Arena.
And then I got out of it like in high school and in college because I was like, girls are going to think I suck. And then once I was married and my wife couldn't really leave me, I was like, I'm going to get back into wrestling.
Who was the champ when you got out of it? Do you remember?
Uh,
It's probably Cena.
no, I got out of it pre-Cena. I'm
Holy
PC.
shit.
I'm pre-senile. I knew enough of it because but I'm pre-senile, but I knew his whole thing. So I don't know who's still the champ. It might have been when like Kane and Undertaker were. I don't know.
Did it fuck you up when you found out they weren't really brothers?
Yeah, it
Me
did.
too.
It did because I was right at the age where like they introduced Kane when I was probably at my dumbest. I was probably like 6 or 7. So I was like, this is all real. They're actually from parts unknown and they're brothers. And then like one day, the day that he used the voice box thing to talk, you were just like, no, you told me for 3 years he can't talk.
Yeah.
Now he's got a voice
true.
box thing. And then 2 weeks later, he was like, anyway, I'm Kane. You're like, oh my God, none of this is real.
Yeah, the character development took some hits sometimes. There wasn't,
Yeah.
wasn't the greatest. George R.R. Martin was not writing WWE scripts, I'll tell you that.
Tony Hinchcliffe was writing for wrestling for a while.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, and there was a lot of guys like who's the guy who was in 10 Things I Hate? He's like
Heath Ledger.
no, not him. Freddie Prinze Jr. He was a writer
Oh,
for
dude.
WWE Creative for a while.
What?
Yeah,
Damn, that's just like the cool job you get when your dad's famous. You just pick what job you want.
That's got to be so cool. You're like, all right, guy hits other guy with chair.
Yeah.
Busty woman on side of ring.
Yeah.
says no.
That's got to be, yeah, dude.
All right, guys, let's call it lunch.
And then throw Mankind off the cage and we'll call it a fucking
If that's
show.
your job, bro.
Wrap it.
we gotta spice it up.
Put the black light in that guy's room. That guy's just fucking writing shit like that and jizzing.
You're just a guy. It's like enter Stone Cold (parentheses shattered glass).
New girl, huge tits, very dumb.
Like big, but like mega big.
And then maybe she falls in love with one of the writers. Maybe we bring a writer into the arena.
And then suddenly Dave's the champ. Look who's puny now, Mom.
Did you know you weren't allowed to sneeze in front of Vince?
Really?
Yeah, he didn't like people who sneeze. He thought it was a sign of weakness.
He has a real Tyrannosaurus head in his office.
Really?
He has an actual Tyrannosaurus
Him and Nick
skull
Cage.
in his office. That's imagine walking in for an interview and you're like, Mr. McMahon, T-Rex, like Jesus Christ, it's an
Do
actual.
you compliment the T-Rex score or do you just let it sit there?
I don't. You just act like you don't even notice it.
you're
just
not
like,
Do you think he named it? I want to believe Vince McMahon named the T-Rex.
I hope he
skull.
did. I
Something
hope he
like,
named
something
it.
like Gary. Or something.
Yeah, something like, yeah.
Gary.
Just like Hank.
Something
Don't
really
mind
shitty.
Hank.
He makes you kiss it.
I mean, I forget what they were going to name Stone Cold, but it wasn't good.
That is always cool when you see the alternate stories of
Yeah.
what they were going to be.
It was
and
bad.
then, or like the stuff they've tried with other people and it fails.
Yeah.
They're just like, all right, in this one, you're a rapist. They're like, wait, what? Why?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, you're a rapist. I don't know. Get out there and wrestle.
Do you remember the dude who was retarded?
Yes.
Eugene.
Yes, Eugene. That was so I think I saw Eugene a little bit. But I now have seen it since. This character, we can pull him up on here. They weren't even like hiding it. They were just like, this guy's retarded.
What?
And then he would come in.
He would literally walk in, grab his head, keep his tongue out like he was like from Scary Movie.
Well, and then
he'd
the
have a
hilarious
doll.
thing is he had like a little run in the WWE, but then these guys just have to work in the indies to make a living. So he just had to ride this out because everyone at the VFW in, southern Mississippi wants to see Eugene. Like they're like,
Dude, that's
6'1".
I think they had him have a
good.
title run too. I think he had a belt at one
He
point
had
too.
to be a tag team guy.
What if they made him the first Make-A-Wish?
John Cena comes out,
He's a
wins the
Make-A-
belt from him.
He's a Make-A-Wish kid that just never died. Dude. And they're like, we gave him that 1-day contract and then he made it.
Did you see the pop? Did you see the pop that he got when he came out?
dude.
I mean, look, he like even wrote hello on his jacket and everything. Like, they
Yeah.
really dolled this guy up. But then how do you go like now? This was probably he made his debut in probably like the early 2000s. I mean, you're just always Eugene.
I think he was also, if you can pull it up on there, I think he also was like Doink the Clown at one point. He was a bunch of people, but it was always like in a mask or in face
Okay.
paint, like to hide it because everybody's just like, oh yeah, you're Eugene. Was he Doink the Clown as well?
Is that the dude right
That
next?
can't be doing.
Oh my
There was a
God.
bunch of Doinks. Does that guy not have arms on the left? What is that? Doink the Clown is always great. 'Cause
Doink
that
was
was
6
another
foot.
one. It seemed like they were doing it as like, because they would sometimes people give people a gimmick as a punishment. I don't know if this was one, but I think it was one that like took off and they didn't expect it to. I don't know. You can shit on wrestling. The actual matches are pretty cool. And the storylines, it's pretty impressive.
Dude,
to write
I
for.
didn't know about this guy. I got a little more stuff in the canon now. When I'm like, yo, wrestling's retarded, dude. And people are like,
No, it's
why
not.
do you
You're
say
like,
that?
Yeah, I didn't know he was also Joe Rogan at one point. What is it about retired wrestlers and bandanas? They cannot separate from them. That's a Macho Man Randy Savage bandana.
It's got to be the steroids, right? Because they all have
Destroys their
receding hairlines.
hairline. That's probably
Yeah.
it. Oh, damn. So, Jay, you got to get into bandanas.
Jay, you're not that bad. You're not going off any cages anytime soon or doing any
You
stunners.
said you had a nephew point out your baldness, right?
Dude, my niece
Or your
today.
growth.
My niece today was riding the back seat of my car, and I looked up, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm losing my hair, Jai." And she goes, "No, it's growing back." And I'm like, "It's growing back." She goes, "Yes." And that was the end of the discussion.
You're like,
Four
I'm
and a
gonna bring
half-
her around
four
to
and a
tell
half
everybody.
years old. Yeah.
So she's hopeful.
Yeah, and then she took a picture of it later with my phone to show me how it was growing back. I was like, "Oh, thank you
Oh,
you so
wow.
much."
Also, I drew you in crayon and I made you 14 feet tall.
Wow, that's
huge
brutal.
dick too.
Honestly, that'll bring me back. I'd be upset about the bald thing, but if I got a fat wang, I'd be like, you know what? We're calling it even. We
For
can live
every
with that, dude.
millimeter your hairline goes back, your dick gets that much
Where do you think it's
longer.
going, dude?
gotta
I
go
wrap a
somewhere.
bandana around my dick. I call it a day.
Oh my god.
I did want to ask this because I guess we're coming to the end. In stand up, like watching your own set is a nightmare. It's just like you watch it and you just hate everything you're doing. Do you get that at all? Like watching old videos? Or are you kind of like, nah, that's pretty good. I was happy with it.
Yeah, I'm mostly happy with everything that I've done. There's some times where I'm like, yo, I wish I made this joke or something like that. Obviously,
Yeah.
but the editing sucks. The editing, like, what?
Having to sit there and watch
I
yourself.
never know what is good, what is going to be good, what is not going to be good. And people were like, "That was good," and I was like, "Go fuck yourself." That wasn't
Yeah.
good. I watched it. I didn't think it was that good. And like, oh, it was really good. And I was
Yeah.
like, but when you watch yourself so many times, you're just like, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. I
You know
should've
your
done this.
beats and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the editing sucks. But I'm usually pretty happy with things that come out. I actually did a couple open mics, and you guys are maniacs for doing open mics.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you
I
want-
don't get nervous
Yeah.
doing man on the street. I have never felt a nerve or nerves, I guess, doing open mics.
Which,
Yeah.
do you remember which ones you did?
Helium.
Okay.
sick.
Helium's a tough one to start there because that's an intimidating
one.
room in general. Like I just did it last week on a late show.
Oh well,
To
but I
20
didn't get
people.
I didn't get the stage. I was the one where you
Oh.
first come to the left and the bars right there. That's where they put like the
was that
idiots.
punchline.
No.
Was that
no.
Helium?
So it was Helium. So one time there was like overflow, and I guess
Oh,
a
they
lot of
used to
people
have the
started
mic
coming
up there.
and they were like, you know what? Throw the vagabonds and the idiots, the kids that are going to be out of here in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
you know, over there. And dude, trying to control or get a room going when like 9 guys are like right as close to me and you,
Right.
and you're on this mic that's like barely working. It's like
Yeah.
and I suck. So
That's
also-
the part that sucks is like the getting over the suck in the beginning. You're just like, I know none of this is good, but I know I have to go and keep doing it for it
but
to
I think
get good.
for you, like going immediately, like everything has to be on camera. So like you said, you went into that Acme trying to get something out of nothing, and then you have to watch it back, edit that, and then keep going out. I don't know. That seems fucking.
We've even seen just from
Tough,
doing
dude.
like some sketches how hard it is to make the funny when you're planning it. Like you have to, does it get to like where you're pulling teeth ever?
Yeah, there's some.
Yeah.
I went to a dog show. It sucked. Because like you want to directly make fun of the people, but you don't want to make fun of the
Right.
people, and a lot of them take it so fucking serious. You're like, dude, you're grooming a dog right in front of me. You're like
Yeah.
Right.
like a 34-year-old man with 2 kids. You know, going to a mountain with your daughter and stuff, and like
The
trying to-
Pomeranian.
and trying to convince the guy at the mountain that she's 4 years old and
Yeah.
not 2 years old and everything. It's like,
Yeah,
this
well, those
is-
fucking weirdos,
This is
dude.
embarrassing.
How do you know I'm 36?
No, but it's like, and yeah, like you want to make fun of him, and then like, I don't know. I think I have a conscience more than I used to too. That sucks.
Yeah, does that get to like, do you ever feel bad when you're interviewing anybody? Like if somebody is that drunk or like,
No, because I don't sneak up on anybody. If I had a hidden
Right.
camera,
Okay.
I would.
right.
But there's also idiots.
Yeah.
And you could just go in on these idiots. And it's kind of like with you guys, how like you ask other comics things.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, man, that's fine. But then you ask like your mom or like your best friend who like doesn't even understand what you do.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like, that's true.
You're like,
Yeah.
all right,
That
I
is
do need,
true.
it is good to have that too though, because it keeps you,
Yeah, I shouldn't have asked that guy
Balanced.
why he's missing a couple chromosomes or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, at the end of the day, these people came to an Eagles game to watch an Eagles game, to enjoy
Right.
an Eagles game, not for me to be in their fucking face being
Right.
like, say something stupid.
Well, I think you do a good
Yes,
job
yeah,
too of
yeah,
like
true.
that like almost the Channel 5 approach of like just I'm gonna point the mic. I'm gonna let you do all of it. Like not all of it. I'm gonna let you guide where this goes, talk about what you want to talk about, and see what comes of it. Like you do a good job of flowing with that too. So that's awesome to watch.
I mean, editing is the best. I mean, once again, what you guys do is all live and shit. I get to go home, look at it, parse through it and everything.
Yeah.
And if people are long-winded, I can cut it out.
That's a
True.
good point.
It's crazy how big it's gotten too. Like there's like two different distinctions of like kind of what you're doing about going up, interviewing fans and stuff. And then there's just like, I mean, I don't know how you feel about the other ones where it's just
Fucking
like
hate 'em.
dudes going up with their phones, like, you know, what's a good size?
Let me check your diamonds.
Like
Those
all that
ones
shit,
too.
yeah.
Is it real?
Go through each other's phones right now.
I just saw one of
I
those
hope the
today.
guy
Yeah,
who
those are the
I hope
worst.
the guy who goes up to the people and asks what he does, what they do for a living. I hope he gets AIDS.
Oh yeah. The what do you
What do you do for a living?
You drive this car. What do you do?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And the guy who's trying to break into people's apartments in New York City. He's like,
Show me your apartment.
yeah, let me fucking come in, weirdo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess so.
How do you
whatever.
guys feel? And sometimes we experience this because I don't know if we got a cut or anything, but
No, we can go as long.
Yeah.
yeah, I got nothing to fucking do.
Yeah,
It's Tuesday. What am I gonna go back over to Fish Down?
Like, I actually have another podcast.
If my
with
girlfriend's
two-
doing a fucking puzzle when she gets back, I'm gonna be pissed.
Look, dude, I'll send mine over with her. She'll be here
you
shortly.
go over and she's dropping one off. Yeah.
You guys obviously you do jokes, you bomb all the time, blah blah. I write blogs that are trying to be funny. Sometimes we bomb and stuff. Coming out of like COVID and stuff, where we were just at this like everything that was said, we had to be kind of at each other's throats, and we argued a lot and everything over the last 2 years. Do you guys feel like maybe it's easier for you because you're in these comedy rooms and it's like what you're like coming to a comedy show, so you should know the premise of it. Do you guys feel
Yeah.
like people are having a tough time taking jokes more, or maybe jokes that are toe the line, or jokes in general?
I think one of the things this past weekend, I've had two people ask me because I was telling you earlier, I went to two funerals. So I went to two after lunches. So it was like a lot of like younger cousins and stuff asking stuff about stand up. They're like, I've noticed a lot of people now are posting like heckler videos and like more crowd work videos. So I think a lot of people are starting to see more of that and then thinking like, oh, we can go in and also do this. So it's some people are almost getting free, but I don't know if you agree, it's room to room too, and it's night to night. Like you'll get
Yeah, every crowd is different, especially like because of where we are. Like when you go into a city, they tend to kind of lean more one way than the other about what they're comfortable with you saying or doing. But then you go and you'll do like a bumblefuck show in like Emmaus out in the middle of Pennsylvania, and they're like, say whatever you want.
Yeah.
But then there's also kind of this like safety net of the like scene around you. Like when we first started, it was very to the left and very like, you can't say that. You shouldn't be going up and doing this. And then in the past couple of years, it's kind of totally gone 180. Yeah. It's
That's
just,
one thing I hated at the open mics. It was
Yeah.
just all like very like toe the line. The jokes stunk because everyone
Yeah.
toed the line. No one wanted to like wanted
Take
to
a
go
chance or
over the line or take
anything.
a chance. And then I felt like I did one time, and the joke sucked. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like saying like it was the
Yeah.
greatest joke ever and nobody laughed, but it was like the looks on people's faces. I was like,
yeah.
The
Did I
tough
just
thing
get
too is
canceled?
like
No, it's like
early
you wanna
on,
look at me like,
you're-
shut up.
You're doing jokes to other comics so much early on because you're at open mics. Most of the crowd is the comics waiting to go up. You will get like some rooms where it's like, oh, that was a heavy like non-comic crowd. There was 10 people there that were there to just watch the show. So like you get that weird. It's tough to read it, but then when you go to like Helium on a Friday night or Saturday on a Saturday night, and it's just people out having fun. It's kind of like sometimes you're free to like fuck around a little bit more. People are more accepting, but again, you also can get somebody who's like had the worst day ever, and they're like, "I'm going to take it out at this comedy show tonight."
Yeah.
Like
it truly though, the
it doesn't happen
change-
as much as you think it does.
No, but it was worse before. The change was, I don't know if you know Shane Gillis.
oh yeah, 100%.
He blew up and everybody watched how he does stand up and we're like, oh, that is what people find funny. We don't have to like toe this line and shit.
Right.
And kind of like the people who were against it a little bit fell to the wayside, and then the people who were like around it and kind of similar to it, they were like, yeah, this is funny. This has always been funny, and we can start doing it again.
Yeah.
A little more freely.
Do you guys do crowd work? Because I feel like crowd work's a lot like man on the street.
Yeah, I mean, Matt's a big crowd work
That's
guy.
like most of what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, and
And it is a lot of like what you do, where you just have to like keep it flowing and like find the funny in it. and, like,
that's what
pull
I'm
it out
always
of them.
amazed when I watch yours. Is like finding you sit uncomfortably in that pocket of like, no, we're gonna get to this. I'm gonna find out why you're gonna make this funny.
That's what I've
That's
seen
very
you do, yeah.
important.
yeah.
Continuing the conversation, because like I can kind of know in the first 5 to 10 seconds whether this is going to be good or not.
Yep.
But I will always
Right.
have another question in my back pocket.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all.
And it might
yeah.
suck at one point, and the good thing it doesn't go on video.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times, if you continue to go, I'll have like a 2-minute long conversation with this person, and I might use 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Just to
but
have
at
something,
the end
yeah.
of the day, we got to where we needed to go. To.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful, dude. And we took a gorgeous scenic route, didn't we, fellas?
Yeah, talking
And I
about,
wasn't
I'm from
shaking up
Fox
here
Chase.
nervously at all.
And I want to put Daniel Jones's fucking head on a stake.
yeah. All right. Well, tell me how that makes you feel. You're just a therapist at that point.
100%. 100%.
It is always like I think that's one of the things I've tried to do more is stay in the pocket because I bail so quick on crowd work. But like the more and more you get comfortable, and it's a repetition thing. It's an in the moment, practice. But
Yeah.
it's like if you do it enough, you've been in front of that situation 5 other times. Like, oh, I've had that person answer that question this way before. Let me see if I can get the same answer. kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think what we figured out is we're gonna have Kyle do another open mic at some point.
off.
I think
We're gonna
so,
make him
yeah.
do it, dude.
No.
We just
We're
gotta
gonna
do a
drag
I
better
him.
hate
one.
writing. I hate writing.
You don't got to write
Don't
anything.
worry
You can
about
go
it,
up and just
dude.
talk. We run one over here
Fuck
in
off.
South Jersey,
Bro.
and it's a fun room.
We'll get
and
you
can
one,
fuck
dude.
around there.
Kyle, I'm telling you, you're gonna come out, man.
We're gonna
No.
get you, dude.
Come out.
No.
Just saying.
I fuck it.
Well, you're not allowed to leave. No.
Yeah. Get to the puzzle room.
Yeah.
Kyle, I don't do it that often, and I'll go up there.
Okay.
Yeah, trust
Well,
me.
no, Jay. If I agree, then I'm gonna come out, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
You just
We'll
said
see.
okay.
There's
we got
one
it on
thing.
camera.
We'll
There are
keep
some
pounding.
things that, dude. I'm telling you, man. I've never felt emotions like I did
Yeah.
going up there. I was like,
then,
this
so
is
how
the
many
worst thing in the world. I would do. You would get 5 minutes. The
Yeah.
light wouldn't even be on. I'd be over the set. I'd be like, my set would be 2 minutes. I'm just battling, running through everything. Oh,
A-okay, dude.
That's all right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
We'll see. We're gonna keep hounding you then.
Yeah, we'll hound you.
We'll send a
We're gonna
DM
get
a
you
week.
there.
We'll be like,
We'll trick you into it. We're like, we're doing a live podcast.
Yeah, we need you
everybody's
again,
like,
dude.
oh my God, we only have one mic, Kyle.
Yeah.
We're sorry. You're going to have to go up there.
up next, Kyle Pagan.
fuck.
Fuck that.
Do you have any, do you want to try to do that? Like taking the man on the street thing and eventually make it like into any kind of like a show or something?
Yeah,
live
that's
show?
something that I'm kind of like trying to figure out. And it's not Man on the Street because Man on the Street's getting old. Everyone's doing it now.
Yeah.
There's so many copycats with the Eagles and stuff.
But even just the lane of a Philly sports focused, just not variety show, but almost just like a live podcast kind of thing, like Q&A, that
Live
kind of thing.
podcasts, I should do more of. We should definitely do more live podcasts and
Yep.
whatnot. The thing with the Man on the Street is, I feel like such an asshole saying this, but it got so big that like now people are like kind of drawing a fine line between do we like this kid or do we not like this kid?
Right.
And I'm a lot different off camera than I am on camera.
Yeah.
because it's just like it's the Philliness of me and stuff. And I'm a dickhead at heart, but like around my
You're a
friends,
Philly
and stuff.
dickhead,
Yeah,
though.
like a Philly
It's-
dickhead.
yeah,
But, like,
yeah.
we're all like that. Like
Yeah.
even South Jersey people.
Oh, yeah.
are just
We're-
like that.
we're
It's the
pieces
same
of shit, too.
Yeah, we're all shit.
We're all
yeah.
just 100%. We're all just pieces of shit. And but like we do regular things like sit on the couch, watch football and stuff.
Yeah.
But people see only what's on video.
Yeah, that is
Like, that
that's where the
Yeah.
podcasting thing kind of has been nice too, because it's like you'll meet people that you're like, how do you know this much about me? And you're like, oh, I listen to like all your. Like, oh shit, okay, that's right. You know, like my whole life story now. This is
Yeah.
interesting.
But I hate podcasts. I hate doing podcasts. I hate hosting podcasts. I
Okay.
love this shit.
Yeah, just hang out.
Yeah.
That's why
yeah.
we like doing it the way we do it, because we've tried it almost like in the beginning. We were like, thanks for tuning into the. And every time, we're like, why the fuck are we doing radio guy voice?
Yeah,
and
and
then when we finally realized it's just what the people that tune into this want to see is just
Just shoot shit.
bullshit. It's
Bang, whatever,
You're sitting
yeah.
around your friends, yeah. So that's the good thing about podcast. It's an open medium. You can do whatever the fuck you want with.
100%. The only problem is everyone has one.
Yeah,
That we're one of them, dude.
we're thinking about switching to true crime. Just to now,
Whatever, dude.
Now we are 49% skewing female viewers, so I think we could get that to.
True,
We
dude.
mix in a little true crime every once in a while. Maybe a
Yeah.
puzzle talk.
Yeah, bit of a squirt cast, dude.
Welcome to puzzle talk. Yeah, I mean, is there anything you want to promote? while you're
Crossing
here?
Broadcast is our Tuesday, Thursday, hour-long sports show on YouTube, on Apple, on Spotify, 12 to 1. We just come and we just talk about shit that we wrote on the blog and everything for a good lunchtime hour. Follow Crossing Broad, and then all my socials are Kyle Pagan CB.
Nice.
Sweet.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, dude.
What do you got coming up, man?
We got that show at Emmaus Theater this Saturday. Down the street at Re-Up Fashion, Brendan Donegan's show, February 8th.
Sold out. Losers
10th.
if you didn't get a ticket.
Well, just
You're
come.
one of the 40 great fans that could fit into that shop.
Yeah, I mean,
nice-
just go.
It's gonna be a fun one. I'm
Nobody's
pumped.
gonna stop you.
Yeah, just watch through the window.
I'm not gonna.
There's a
whatever, dude.
storefront. Just watch.
I'll get hammered and talk to you and hang out with you.
Just
That's
say
as much
you're
as I'll
there
do.
to buy vintage clothing. They're not going
True.
to turn you away.
And the tap room tomorrow, High Note open mic. Come hang out.
Yes.
Kyle
Every
will be
Wednesday.
there,
We're
dude.
back
He's
to
so
every
excited,
Wednesday.
bro. Yeah, what do you got there, Big J?
The only thing that needs to get, I think it might be still some tickets available, is that show down in Woodstown on I'm blind. On the 8th of February, A Set for Life. I think you got to get tickets online for that one. I've been posting about it, so you can follow the link for that. But Montag Comedy on Instagram. Hacks Comedy Golf is still out there. We might be bringing it back. Are you a golfer?
I fucking hate golf.
Hell yeah. Well, you're going to come out and tee one up with us when we bring my old show, Hacks, back.
Okay.
Where you used to just go golfing with comics. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that sounds
But
actually.
we'd love to have you.
9 or 18 holes.
We went to Top Golf one episode.
Oh,
We went
okay.
to mini golf.
Can I be that guy? Can I be the next
we
Top
could
Golf
play-
episode?
I want to play a Golden Tee episode. So
Okay.
if you want to do Golden Tee, we just chill at a bar all day. I think that sounds like a pretty sweet episode.
I do like that.
All right, nice.
Good idea.
Episode 3 of Hacks coming back. What do you want to say on the way out, Matt?
Fucking, the red wave came and went. I gotta run it out of this shit.
We're done with you being Republican at the end of the podcast, right?